Ever pondered the possibility of composting in urban areas even within your compact city apartment? Today, we're not just going to decode that enigma, but also highlight its significance. Composting is not reserved for those with sprawling countryside gardens. It's an eco-friendly practice everyone, especially city dwellers, can get on board with. Why? Because composting is a powerful ally in the battle against urban environmental concerns. One of the crucial challenges cities face is waste management. Landfills are overburdened, contributing to worrying levels of greenhouse gas emissions. Composting helps mitigate this issue by reducing the volume of waste we send to these landfills. It's an ingenious solution to waste management problems in cities, transforming your kitchen scraps into nutrient-dense soil. This rich soil is a boon for urban gardening, whether you're nurturing a collection of indoor plants or cultivating a small balcony garden. Composting not only alleviates waste management issues, but also promotes urban gardening. You'll save money on fertilizers as you create your own organic matter right in your apartment. It's like possessing a small fragment of nature's recycling system in your urban dwelling. So how can you be part of this green revolution within your own city apartment? Stay tuned as we guide you through the process. First things first, we need to gather our composting materials. The backbone of composting lies in 3 primary ingredients: browns, greens, and water. Browns provide carbon and include materials such as paper, dry leaves, or wood chips. Greens, on the other hand, are rich in nitrogen and include fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and even grass clippings. Water is the third crucial element, contributing to the breakdown of organic matter. It's essential to maintain a balance of these materials for effective composting. Think of it as a recipe, with the browns being your flour, greens as your sugar, and water as the binding agent. You don't want your compost to be too dry or too wet, and you certainly don't want it to be too sweet or too bland. So, balance is key. Now that we have our materials, let's move on to the next step. Next, we need to set up a compost bin. There's quite a variety available that are apartment-friendly. You could choose a worm bin, also known as vermicomposting, where worms do all the hard work of breaking down your kitchen scraps. Or perhaps a bokashi bin, which uses a special brand to ferment your waste, might be more to your liking. Once you've picked your bin, it's time to set it up. Start by adding a layer of browns at the bottom. Browns are carbon-rich materials like dried leaves, newspaper strips, or even cardboard. This provides a nice dry base for your compost. Next, add a layer of greens. Greens are nitrogen-rich materials like fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, or grass clippings. They help to kickstart the decomposition process. Then add a bit of water, just enough to make the pile feel like a wrung-out sponge. This will create the right environment for the composting process to begin. With our compost bin set up, we're ready to start composting. Maintaining your compost bin is a crucial step in the composting process. It's not just about tossing your scraps into a bin and forgetting about it. No, composting is a dynamic process that requires your attention and care. First off, it's important to turn your compost regularly. This helps to aerate the pile and speed up the decomposition process. Imagine you're making a salad. Mix it up with a shovel or a compost aerator every few days. Adding new materials is also essential. Keep the balance between green materials like vegetable scraps and coffee grounds, and brown materials such as dried leaves or newspaper. This balance is key to keeping your compost healthy and productive. Lastly, check the moisture and temperature levels. Your compost should be as damp as a wrung-out sponge and warm to the touch. If it's too dry, add some water. If it's too wet, add more brown materials. By maintaining your compost bin, you'll have nutrient-rich compost in no time. Finally, let's talk about how to use your compost. Recognizing when your compost is ready is an art in itself. It's a process that typically takes 2 to 3 months. The compost should be dark, crumbly, and smell like fresh earth. It should no longer resemble the scraps you originally put in. Now, how to put this black gold to use? One of the most popular ways is to nourish indoor plants. A thin layer of compost on the surface of the potting soil can do wonders. If you have a balcony garden, your plants will love a good compost feed too. Don't have a garden? No worries. Your compost can also be a great contribution to a local community garden. Many are always looking for nutrient-rich compost to help their plants thrive. There you have it, a step-by-step guide to composting in an apartment. Remember, composting is not only beneficial for the environment, but it's also a rewarding process for you as well.